All right, good evening and welcome to this Yoga for Recovery, Realization, and Resilience. My name is Brian and I'm delighted to be here with you today. Today's practice is going to be, how do I explain this? So one of the things that we suggest, we being folks that are in yoga teachers or members of a yoga community or part of a yogic practice world, are that you have a daily practice, something you do every day. And while that practice may vary from time to time, maybe it's daily, maybe it's weekly, maybe it's monthly, maybe it's every 40 days, maybe it's every 90 days, that you have a consistency of practice. So anyway, this is the last Sunday of the month, and this is the new implementation for me. I'm going to be on the last Sunday of the month sharing the practice that I have been doing for the past month. So this would be the practice I've been doing all of the month of August, in addition to the classes that I teach or the classes that I go to or the seminars or workshops that I do. This is the daily practice, one of the daily practices that I do. So it involves breath work, movement, and a little bit of guided rest. And so it mirrors the practice that we generally do here in this particular class. So a couple of things before we start. You'll want to clear your passageways because there's some significant breath work in here. We'll do a pattern interrupt breath after we move the body. We'll do some activating breaths and move the body in the course of the practice. Secondarily, you want to have your supports available: blocks, straps, bolsters, eye shades, blankets, maybe a chair, because there's a significant amount of sitting, especially in the early part of the practice. So we'll be sitting. And I'll offer us some options to adjust the seat as we move through the practice. And then finally, and I'll repeat this as we get into it, remember that it is your practice. So you're going to do what is right for you, following the wisdom of your own body and letting your body dictate for you what needs to be done. So if your pace is different than mine, that's as it should be, because you're not me. If your breathing pattern is different than mine, that's as it should be. Then you're not me. You're going to vary or modify any posture at any time in order to support what you need in your space. You're going to take any alternate posture at any time in order to support what you need in your space. You're going to stop when you get out of sorts and lose the rhythm. A couple of the practices are a little dynamic. If you get a little out of sorts, just stop and reconnect as you're ready at your pace, your rhythm, your breath, your practice. So, so that's our first guiding principle: support precedes action, and the reminder that this is your practice. These are just suggestions and invitations, and maybe recommendations, but ultimately your guide is your body and the wisdom of your body, and please honor that by giving it the credence and giving it what it's asking for. Your body knows what it needs. Okay, so we'll land, we'll raise gratitude, we'll set intention, and then we'll begin to move. We have about 30 minutes of movement, and then we're going to do I haven't decided yet, but we're going to do a breath practice for a little while, a pattern interrupt breath, and then we'll sit in silence and meditation for a bit, and then I'll offer you the option to take that meditation in our guided rest posture on your back if you like. So we'll probably be here 45 minutes total once we start. So with that in mind, please bring yourself into this place and into this space, and find yourself in a supported posture, whatever that means to you, whatever that looks like for you, whatever form that takes for you. Bring yourself into that. And I think we'll just do that. Okay. Yeah. All right. So having found that supported seat, and how do you know you're supported? Feel into the sensation of physical connection at whatever part of your body is in contact with something. The floor, if your feet are flat on the floor, if you're seated in a chair underneath your knees, hip distance apart. The sides of your calves and feet, if you're sitting cross-legged on your mat. Your sits bones on the mat or on a cushion or bolster or in the seat of the chair. That's the pointy bones at the base of your hip girdle. Maybe you have some armrests if you're in a chair and you're feeling your elbows or forearms on the back of your forearms on those armrests. Whatever part of maybe you're lying on your back with the full spine supported. Maybe you're up against the wall. Whatever part of your body is in contact with something, feel that support that sensation of connection. Bring your awareness to that as support. And then open your mind to the question, what is it like to be supported in this moment? And then feeling into those supports as if you could root in at those locations. Imagine you're extending roots down into the earth from those connected parts of your body. And as you extend into the earth, you lengthen through the spine, lengthen through the side body, lengthen through the crown. Experiment with tucking the chin so that you feel that release at the back of the neck so that you can feel the full length of the spine from the base to the crown. And then feel into the experience in your torso, in your body, as you elongate and align the spine. Notice what happens in your body as the spine elongates and aligns. Then staying elongated and aligned, come into the present moment by coming into the body. Come into the body by coming into the breath. Begin to breathe in and out through the nostrils, following the inhalation all the way in and the exhalation all the way out. Breathing deep into the body cavity, maybe to the base of the pelvic bowl, maybe to the base of the spine, maybe to the sacral area, maybe to the abdomen, maybe to the rib cage, but in any case, to the full 360 dimension of your torso, front, back, sides, without stress, strain, or exertion. Full inhalation. Complete exhale. Notice the subtle shift in your torso as the lungs inflate and deflate. The body is still. Awareness is on the breath in the nostrils as you follow the inhale in and the exhale out. And then focus. Close your eyes if you're comfortable doing so. Focus at the brow point, the place behind and at the center of the eyebrows, just behind the eyebrows. Or if your eyes are narrowed, focus on something not moving just beyond the tip of your nose. And continue to breathe, being present in this moment as the inhale comes, knowing that you're breathing in. And as the exhale goes, knowing that you're breathing out. And on your next inhale, I invite you to float your hands to your heart in a way that brings awareness to your heart space. Maybe the left hand over the heart, the right hand over the left, maybe the hands in prayer, thumb knuckles resting lightly on the breastbone. And bring awareness to your heart space. Feel the heat of the hands against the chest. Feel the beat of the heart beneath the hands. Notice how the beat rhythm of the heart beating begins to align to the rhythm of the breath. Turning your awareness into your heart space, allow to arise in your heart space gratitude, any one thing for which you are grateful. Maybe today, just the possibility of gratitude, whatever it is that arises when gratitude is called forth for you. See that clearly in your mind's eye. What comes forth when you look and ask for gratitude to arise? And I invite you to anchor whatever that is right there at your heart space and to keep it there as we go through the practice today. And then having established support, come into the present moment and allow gratitude to arise. Finally, before we start today, I'll invite you to set an intention for your practice today. Perhaps a simple intention to just be right there at the beginning of each inhale, or to just keep your gratitude anchored. But whatever your intention is, I invite you to state it to yourself. Hear yourself in your mind's ear as you state your intention in a clear and declarative voice, as if it is already done. And then listen as the echoes of your intention reverberate in your being. On your next inhale, I invite you to take a full inhalation. And as you exhale, if you choose to, allow your chin to drop to your grateful and intentional heart. And if you like, offer a benediction to seal your intention as I say, Namo, Namaste. And then release the hands, lift the chin. Take a moment to establish your seat. So maybe you want to find your seat, for we're going to begin to move the body a little bit in this seated posture. So maybe you want to adjust a little bit to prepare for that. We're going to begin with what we call stomach grind, or rotating the body against the fixed hips. So we're going to just begin to inhale the body forward and exhale the body back. Now, this is a rotational movement. Now, begin to feel into making this movement work from the abdomen. So maybe you can feel into your diaphragm. It's like you're sort of swirling the diaphragm as if you were, I guess, back in the day, maybe you remember hula hoops, maybe not. Anyway, there were these little hoops that you used to try to, circle around your body, and you had to be able to move your rib cage and your abdomen. So that's really where the movement is. It's not there's so much these rotating the shoulders, right? We want to get when you move from the diaphragm, then the whole spine and the whole torso begins to rotate. So inhaling forward, exhaling back. Just do the best you can. Just be with this for a moment. And let's see, let's go with this. Inhale forward. Now find your rhythm, your pace. Maybe it's just a small movement here as we start. And we're beginning to align breath with movement. It's the big thing here, right? So it's not so much about how much of a swirl you get happening in your torso as it is about beginning to just be in alignment with that breath, right? So as the movement starts forward, the inhale, and as the exhale ends, the movement stops, and we're just moving with the breath. Very simple movement here. Just stay with this. Circling either direction, it doesn't matter. We're going to go the other way here shortly. So, if you're going what appears to be the opposite way, it's okay. So we're just kind of circling the torso. We're moving the spine against the fixed hips like a butter churn. All right, switch directions and move in the opposite direction now. In the old days in the prairies, they had these little churns they made butter in. It was like a cylinder with like a broom handle stick that fit in the top of the cylinder. So imagine that broom handle stick is the spine and the cylinder is your torso. That's what's happening here. We're just rotating the spine in the torso. And the awareness is on the breath, and the movement is just aligned with the breath. And we're just beginning to kind of wake up here. We're going to move the spine in several different directions with the breath here. And then we're going to get up and do some dynamic movements. And then we'll come back and we'll finish off our movement practice, and we'll move into a nice pattern interrupt breath. And that'll set us up nicely here. So finishing up here in this direction. Inhale, come back to center. Full inhalation here. Gently retain this breath and gently lift at the base of the spine, at the pelvic bowl, at the heart, while relaxing the shoulders and tucking the chin slightly. Feel everything come center. Focus at the brow point or just at the tip of the nose. Be very still. And then exhale, release the lifting, release the breath, release the patterning. Be very still. Let everything settle. Take a full inhale here. And a complete exhale. Full inhalation. Complete exhale. Inhale here. And exhale. Bring your hands in front of your shins if you're seated cross-legged, or if you're seated in a chair, just bring your hands to your knees, to your thighs. And the movement is a simple tilt of the pelvic bowl. So find your sits bones, the pointy bones at the base of the hip girdle, and then just tilt forward and back. So as you tilt forward, you'll feel the lower part of your spine will move forward, a little bit arching there. And then as you round on the exhale, you'll feel that little bit lower spine moving backwards. So it's sort of a paddling in and out, right? And to begin to align the movement with the breath. So the tendency here is to get the head going, and we don't want to do that. We keep the chin neutral. And we're just moving at the lower spine, feeling little arching at the lower spine. The lumbar spine is arching and rounding. We're moving the spine now, flexion and inflection. We did rotation, now we're doing flexion and inflection. Now we'll do some side to side later. We're going to get the spine moving in all directions here. So find your breath and move with your breath. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. Your rhythm, your pace, your breath, your practice. Relax into the movement here. So see if you can avoid clenching and getting tension in the body. The body's very still except for the lower spine that's arching and rounding or flexing and inflexing, however you want to say that. Just finding that alignment with your breath. Now we're going to do each of these movements for a little bit. So we have time to feel into it. There's no rush, there's no hurry, there's nowhere you need to be, nothing you need to do other than just be present with yourself in the practice and just feel into what happens for you as you begin to align your movement and your breath, as you become present with yourself in the practice. Full attention here on the breath, anchored in your gratitude and your intention in your heart space, just moving with the breath. And again, find your rhythm, your pace, your breath, your practice. The key is to be with you. You are in the privacy of your own space. That's by design. So be in the privacy of your own practice by intent and purpose. Inhale up. Again, gently retain this breath. Lift gently at the base of the pelvic bowl, at the base of the spine, at the heart. And then exhale. Bring your hands to your knees, and you'll feel a little more open here. And then you're going to do that same movement, inhaling forward. But now you'll feel perhaps that movement has moved up into the middle part of the spine. You may feel the heart come forward a bit more here, a little bit more range of motion. Maybe not. Just be in that practice. Again, the chin is very neutral. The head is just riding atop the torso. We're just flexing and inflexing the spine here. Inhaling forward, rocking on the pelvic bowl slightly. So the tendency here is to get a little overamped, and then we start, and we don't want that. We want the body to be still, except for to the extent that the spine is arching and rounding. Everything else is relaxed and still, and we're just following the breath here. Find your rhythm. And be in your practice. Activating the energy channels in the torso, along the spine, feeling energy moving in the body. No overthinking, no overanalysis. Just feel into the rhythm and find your rhythm. Feel like you're dancing, body and breath, dancing together. Inhale up. Gently retain this breath while lifting at the base of the spine. Mula Bandha, for those that understand the locks, we're lifting at the base of the spine, at the pelvic bowl, at the heart. Relax the shoulders, feel the chin tuck slightly. Feel yourself very still here. And exhale, release. Hands to the knees, palms up, thumb and forefinger together. Sit very still. Allow everything to settle. A full inhale. A complete exhale. Full inhalation. Complete exhale. Inhale here. And exhale. Our next movement is going to involve twisting the spine. So bring your hands out, shoulder height, and then fold at the elbows and bring the hands so that the thumb hooks behind the shoulders and the four fingers hook in front of the shoulders. This will hold your torso steady. Again, head is relaxed and neutral atop the spine. And the movement is simply an inhalation to the left and an exhalation to the right. Twisting, inhale left, exhale right. And again, find your rhythm, your pace, your breath, your practice. Head just riding atop the spine, elbows leading. So maybe you feel like you're leading with the elbows. And awareness is on the breath in the nostrils. And again, the rest of the body is still and relaxed. Inhaling left, exhaling right, your rhythm, your pace, your breath, your practice. Again, just feeling the spine twisting. Not overdoing anything, not being aggressive with ourselves, just being present with our breath, the movement aligned to the breath. Inhale to center. Gently retain and lift. Exhale, release. Palms up, thumb and forefinger together. Let everything settle. Notice the results of your practice. So there's the effort and then the ease, the dynamism and then the integration. Feel into what has shifted for you. Notice what's changed in your mind state, in your body state, your psychological state, mental state, emotional state, physical state. Feel into the results. These are tools we can use off the mat. You practice on the mat. so that we have tools to take off the mat. All right, we've been seating for a bit, so if you need to switch the cross of your legs, shake out your knees, find a slightly different posture to support yourself. If your sits bones slipped a little bit in that twisting, mine usually do. That twisting usually gets me thrown off a little bit. Recenter in your propulsive centered spot. Now, our next movement is a dynamic movement. So we're going to be seated. On the inhale, the arms are going to reach up from the shoulders. Fingers and thumb extended. So like long. And then on the exhale, we're simply going to bring the elbows down to the side ribs. So you'll feel the elbows lightly touch the ribs. Inhaling. Now, it's important not to overdo this. First of all, be nice to yourself. Second of all, again, the body is still, although the arms are moving, the body is still, and we're trying to be relaxed and just be in the breath. Find your rhythm. It's especially important. If you lose your rhythm, just stop and come back and find the rhythm that's right for you. All right? And don't think about your arms. Your arms will do what they'll do. If you need to stop and take a break, then do so. And just be in your own practice. Have an experience of this for yourself. So again, find your seat. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, elbows to the side ribs. And continue at your pace, your rhythm, your breath, your practice. Making fists as you bring the hands down and the elbows touch the side ribs. So inhaling up, extending the fingers, exhaling down, making fists as the elbows touch the side ribs. Again, the body is still. The awareness is on the breath in the nostril. Focus is at the brow point if the eyes are closed, or the tip of the nose if the eyes are narrowed. And the arms are just moving. And the arms are just doing what the arms do as you breathe in here. Your rhythm, your pace, your breath, your practice. Be with yourself, find your own practice. Stay with it. Just 20 more seconds here. You've got this. Inhale up. Stretch and reach. Lift at the base. Lengthen through the fingers in the crown. Lift. And exhale. Release the arms down. Take a breath. Whew, let everything settle. Be very still. Focus on your breath and allow the breath to come and go without shaping. Allow the mind to be without shaping. Just be still. A full inhale. A complete exhale. Full inhalation. Complete exhale. Inhale here. And exhale. All right, we're going to come standing now, move to our mat. We're going to do some dynamic movements on our mat. So bring yourself to a standing posture. Just take a moment to get used to being upright. Shake out the legs a little bit. We're seated for a while there. A little settlement kind of happened in the hips. So let that shake out. And then you're going to bring your feet slightly wider than your hips, maybe as wide as the shoulders, maybe even a little wider than the shoulders. Toes might be slightly pointed outward to provide stability. Feel into your feet. We're going to do squats. Now, the arms come up from the shoulders, parallel to the floor. This is your balance, right? So we don't want to overdo it. And then your squat will be your squat. So you may just do a slight squat because that's what's available for you. Now, for additional support, you can take your chair. If you have your chair or if you have a bolster, you can utilize your hands on this chair or the bolster if you require additional support here. Remember, support precedes action here, okay? And always, right? So we're going to do squats. Oh, oh, I got it. So we'll do the count. Okay, so, all right. Now, if you're a kinetics type person, you're trying to keep the spine as straight as possible. Imagine you've got a big exercise ball behind you, you're rolling that ball up and down the walls. We're trying to keep the spine straight or relatively straight. If you have the flexibility and you can bring your all the way down, then you're going to do that. The breath is as follows. On the exhale, we lower. On the inhale, we rise. All right, so find your posture and let us begin. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale down. And again, find your rhythm, your pace, your breath, your practice, only going as far as is right for your body. Listen to the wisdom of your own body and honor that wisdom by doing what your body is asking you to do. Your body knows what it needs and will tell you. Your job is to simply listen and then respect that, support that. Exhale down, inhale up. Stay with it. Just a few more here. Inhale up. Exhale, release the hands. Bring the feet together underneath the body. Relax the arms down. Take a full inhale. A complete exhale. Full inhalation. Complete exhale. Inhale here. And exhale. Whew. All right. Feet come underneath the hips, close together. Find your balance in your feet, inside and outside of the ball of the foot, inside and outside of the heel of the foot. Hands alongside the thighs, fingers long, crown extended, spine is straight. And we're going to continue our movements in the spine, this time laterally. So inhale to center, lengthen through the crown. Exhale, just lean to one side. Doesn't matter which way. Inhale back to center. Exhale, other way. And then continue that movement. Exhale down. Inhale up. Your rhythm, your pace, your breath, your practice. Accessing the obliques and quadrilateralis. Moving the spine side to side. So if you've been paying attention now, we've rotated the spine. We've flexed the spine. We've twisted the spine. And now we're laterally moving the spine. So we've moved the spine in all directions at this point so far. And we're just going to be with this. Work with your breath. Exhale down. Inhale up. Not trying to overdo anything again. Body's very still, except for whatever length of movement we have from our side body. Just a few more here. Inhale up. Exhale, release. Relax, shake out the knees, shake out the hips. Just be very still as you breathe in. And breathe out. We have one more posture here. Again, a dynamic type movement here. So bring your feet out just wider than the hips. So you get a firm grounding in your feet. So like if you remember bioenergetic grounding, where you're as if you're coming into a little seat and as if your hands were on your thighs, pressing your shins and your feet down. That kind of support. We're rooting into the feet. And then engage the spine and the core. So think about feeling your chest expand and engage here. And the hands are going to come in front of the body. Fists together. Elbows in by the sides. The breath is a two-part inhale, two-part exhale. The inhale is through the nose, and as we inhale, we break the inhale into two parts. So we inhale while moving the wrists out just past the shoulders, and then the second part of the inhale, we open up the chest. On the exhale is out the mouth, two parts. So we purse the mouth, make a circle, and then cannon breath, exhale. And the arms move halfway and then come back together. So that's the movement. It'll look like this. Through the nose in, through the mouth out. We're just going to do 9 of these. So begin, find your engagement, settle in, strong, shore position, and begin. Inhale through the nose. 2 parts out the mouth. Continue. Your rhythm. Your pace, your breath. After your 9th, release. Bring the feet together. Relax the arms and shoulders. Take a breath. Sigh it out. Inhale here. Exhale, and then make your way back to your seat. We'll finish up with our movement and move into our pattern interrupt breath. So find your supported seat again. Bring yourself back into yourself. Check in with your gratitude and your intention. Anchor and be steady and sure. All right. Our last movement of the spine is up and down. We're going to bring the hands to the thighs or knees. The inhale, the shoulders will come up toward the ears. Now, the tendency is to scrunch the neck. Let's not do that. Just simply lift the shoulders on the inhale. On the exhale, release. In and out through the nose. And let me get this going. Okay. Find your rhythm, your pace, your breath, your practice. Now, again, the spine is straight, elongated, and aligned, just like where we started. And the key to this particular one, I find, is to actually feel as if you're actually relaxing the shoulder blades, even though you're lifting the shoulders up and down. And it sounds counterintuitive, and maybe that's not what works for you, but experiment with your own, what you need to do to be able to be still and relaxed here while the shoulders are moving. So again, the arms are just doing what the arms are doing. The shoulders are just doing what the shoulders are doing. The body is still and relaxed, and we're working with the breath. Inhaling up, exhaling down, keeping the neck very neutral, the head very relaxed. It's the last directional movement of the spine here, sort of up and down on the spine now. So we've gone in all directions. Again, be with yourself and your rhythm, your pace, your breath, your practice. Inhale up. And again, lift. Pull Mula Bandha, lift at the base of the spine, at the pelvic bowl, at the heart. Now the shoulders are up, but they can still be relaxed. The chin is slightly tucked. Feel yourself still and centered in this space. And then exhale, release. Hands to the knees, palms up, thumb and forefinger together, and let the chin drop gently to the chest. And then begin gentle neck rolls. So we inhale over and up, and exhale over and down. And just do about 5 of these in each direction at your own pace. So be very gentle here with your spouse, especially if you've had neck issues. Maybe you had neck issues, you just do side to side, like shake your head no. Very gentle here. Releasing any tension in the neck. If you're with me, switch your direction here and begin to go gently. Now notice the difference one side to the other. You may notice that. Finding your way into a release. After your 5th one, lift the chin. Just breathe naturally for a moment while I explain our pattern interrupt breath. So we're going to do a pattern interrupt breath, and we're going to do it for a while. So the breath is an inhale up the energy centers of the body. So we breathe initially to the base of the spine or the bottom of the body, right? So for men, that would be at the perineum. For women, that would be at the point of the cervix. Then to the sacral. So imagine you're breathing to the back of your sacrum. then to the back of the navel. So along your spine, where the navel would be, where the sacrum would be, then where the heart would be, then the throat, then the brow point, and then the crown. And then when you reach that, we're going to gently hold, retain that breath for a moment. And then we'll exhale, long, continuous, extended exhale. So 7-part inhale. I'll cue the first couple for a rhythm, but then you'll find your rhythm, your pace, your breath, and your practice. So find your position, lengthen and elongate the spine, be supported in your posture. Turn your attention inward and breathe into the base, sacrum, navel, heart, throat, brow, crown of the head. Keep your focus at the brow point as you gently retain this breath. Then long, continuous exhale. And again, breathing to the energy centers, to the root, sacrum, navel, heart, throat, brow, crown. Keep focus at the brow as you retain the breath. Long, extended exhale. Breathing in, root, sacrum, navel, heart, throat, brow, crown. Focus brow while you retain. Long exhale, emptying completely, and then continuing. Just continue your rhythm, your pace, your breath, your practice. Breathing up through the energy centers of the body, holding awareness at the brow as you retain the breath at the crown. And then exhaling completely and continuing. Now, like always, the body is very still. The awareness is on the breath as it climbs the spine at the energy centers. Focus is at the brow point. We're just breathing, knowing that we're breathing. And again, you're finding your rhythm, your pace, your breath, your practice. One more repetition wherever you are. Finish up this and then do one more complete repetition. And release the pattern, settle into your breath. Just examine your own experience here. And as you're examining your experience, make a decision about your posture for your guided rest. You can remain seated in a meditative pose, or you can take your rest down onto your mat by taking yourself down onto your mat on your back. If you come down on your back, let your toes fall open, let your heels move as wide as is comfortable for you on your mat. Bring your arms down by your side, palms up. Lengthen through your crown, and then imagine you can pull down on your side ribs so that you feel the entirety of your spine, especially your lower spine, on the mat. And whether you're seated or lying down, feel into your supported self and let everything go. Just allow yourself to be. Letting all of the practice integrate, letting everything settle, releasing any shaping of the mind, the body, or the breath, releasing any analysis, any conversations or competitions or condemnations or criticisms. Just let everything go and just be here in this moment, supported in your rest, in the privacy of your space, in the privacy of your practice, in the privacy of your being. Just be at rest. Allow stillness. Whatever arises, just notice it with curiosity and a lack of attachment or aversion. Maybe you notice some tightness or tension, just notice it. No need to do anything, just be. Allowing yourself to just be. Letting the autonomic nervous system, parasympathetic nervous system take over. And breath will breathe you here. Nothing you need to do. The breath will come and go, gratefully given, gracefully received. Allow yourself to be. Feel the full support underneath your body. Allow yourself to be held, supported in this posture. Feel into the gift of being and allow yourself to surrender to rest. And we'll explore that surrender in rest, in silence, for a couple minutes. Gently and compassionately collect your awareness and bring it back to your body and your breath. Reintroduce movement by wiggling your fingers or your toes, perhaps rolling your ankles or your wrists. Prepare for re-entry by bringing your knees to the ceiling. If you're lying down, your heels toward your hips, and extend your right arm alongside your head, bicep by the ear. If you're seated, just flutter your eyelids open and closed, and just gently breathe in and out. If you're lying down, take a moment to gently roll yourself to your right side, using your right arm to cradle your head and neck for support. As you are ready and able and willing, use your left hand in front of your chest to help lever yourself back to a seated position. And as everyone comes back to their seated posture, I invite you once again to tune into your heart space and your breath. Turn your awareness into your heart space. Allow your hands to float to your heart space. Allow once again gratitude to arise. Maybe one more thing for which you are grateful. Again, maybe just the possibility of gratitude and looking into your own heart space and your own gratitude in your space. I'll take this opportunity to extend my sense of gratitude to you from this space. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your practice. I'm honored to be here, truly. And as always, I invite and encourage you to stay here in grateful rest as long as you like. And when you do rise, please take your gratitude and the echoes of your practice with you as you go through the remainder of your day, lifting yourself and all that you come into contact with. Have an amazing day.